When a father's love turns into control, his children are trapped in a world of rules, restrictions, and suffocating expectations. Kody Brown, the patriarch of Sister Wives, believes his strict moral code will protect his family, but at what cost? From a daughter's affection being policed to a shocking confrontation over premarital kissing, what lies ahead for Kody and his wives? Can they break free from his iron grip, or is it already too late to undo the damage? Part 1. It started off like any other season of Sister Wives, a seemingly perfect family, navigating the challenges of polygamy, love, and loyalty. But behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. Robin and Kody's relationship, once full of passion, had slowly started to sour. What many fans didn't see was the growing tension between Robin and Kody. Where once affection flowed easily, now there is an unsettling unease whenever Kody reaches for her. But is it just a phase, or has something much deeper changed? It's the small moments that speak volumes. Kody reaching out for a simple gesture of affection, a hand, a kiss, a touch. But Robin's reaction? A flinch, a shift in posture, eyes turning away. The once loving glances have turned into cold stares, and the body language. It's telling a story of its own. While Kody's efforts to connect with his wife appear genuine, Robin's discomfort is undeniable. And as the days pass, the tension becomes harder to ignore. But what's really happening here? What's the story behind this tension? Robin Brown joined the family with the hope of finding the connection she had longed for. She was the newest wife in the family, bringing with her not only her love for Kody, but her own set of dreams and challenges. But over time, the cracks started to show. While Kody's attention has always been divided among his wives, Robin's desire for a deeper connection with him seemed different. She wanted his affection, his validation, and his love, just like the others. But what happens when that love starts to feel more like a burden? The tipping point came when Robin finally voiced what many had suspected for months. She confessed, in front of the cameras, that she felt uncomfortable. But the real shocker came when she admitted she could no longer handle Kody's affection, not in the way he wanted. Robin's "I love Kody, but his constant need for closeness. It's too much." For Kody, this revelation hit hard. His attempts to show love, to bond with Robin, felt rejected. His emotional investment now questioned, leaving him devastated and lost. The cracks had deepened. Robin was ready for change. Kody was ready to fix things. But was it too late? As Robin and Kody's private struggles played out on TV, fans were left in disbelief. The once inseparable couple now seemed worlds apart. Fans took to social media, dissecting every gesture, every word, every look between the two. Was this the end of a marriage, or just another bump in the road? For many viewers, Robin's discomfort struck a chord. Was she simply expressing her truth, or was there more to the story that we weren't seeing? And for Kody, how would he respond to the growing public backlash? Kody, I've always tried my best, but maybe I missed something. Maybe I was too focused on myself. But will Kody change? And more importantly, will Robin find a way to regain control over her own happiness? As the season ends, the tension between Robin and Kody remains unresolved. What happens next? Will Robin break free, or will the couple find a way back to each other? The road ahead is unclear, and the story isn't over yet. This is a love story that is still being written, and just like you, we're waiting to see what happens next. Want to know what happens to Robin and Kody next? Stay tuned. Part 2. Kody Brown is no stranger to controversy. As the leader of a polygamous family, his every decision is under the microscope. But when it comes to his children's relationships, Kody's strict views on premarital affection have raised more than just eyebrows. In this explosive moment, he makes his stance crystal clear. No kissing, no fooling around. His belief: chastity is the key to a meaningful marriage. But when Kody's daughter Aurora brings home a boyfriend, tensions rise. In a private conversation, Kody lays down the law, telling the young man that kissing his daughter before marriage is a betrayal of not just his daughter's purity, but of family values themselves. Kody Brown's strict stance on chastity didn't just come from nowhere. Raised in a conservative religious environment, his views on physical affection have always been shaped by his faith and personal beliefs. For Kody, the importance of saving oneself for marriage is sacred, something he's passed down to his children. But as the world changes, does Kody's way of thinking still fit? While many of his children, including Aurora, are growing into their own adults with their own desires, Kody remains resolute in his belief that physical affection before marriage is a dangerous step. To Kody, kissing isn't just a moment of love or attraction. It's a moral boundary that shouldn't be crossed. But for Aurora and many of Kody's other children, the pressure is mounting. The question remains: will they accept Kody's view of love, or will they forge their own path in the face of these rigid expectations? The turning point comes when Kody delivers his speech to Aurora's boyfriend, comparing kissing her to kissing another man's wife. His words sting, creating an uncomfortable tension in the room. Aurora's boyfriend, clearly rattled, struggles to process the severity of Kody's belief. In that moment, Kody's words hang in the air, creating an emotional rift between him and Aurora. As a father, he wants to protect his daughter's virtue. But is he overstepping? Is he alienating the people he cares about most? Aurora: I get where he's coming from, but it feels like he doesn't trust me. I'm an adult. Why can't I make my own decisions about who I love and how I express that love? Aurora's words speak to the heart of the conflict. In trying to protect his children, Kody may be pushing them away. His desire to keep them innocent has turned into a force that stifles their freedom and their growth. As the rest of the family reacts to Kody's declaration, the fallout is immediate. His other wives, who have their own views on relationships and boundaries, are left to navigate the tension that Kody's stance has created. Janelle: I get that Kody wants to protect his children, but there has to be a balance. His beliefs, though firm, don't always take into account the reality of their lives. I think it's time for him to loosen the reins a little. Christine: Kody's always been strong in his beliefs, but I don't know if this is the best approach. It feels like he's pushing them too hard. While Kody holds firm in his convictions, the other members of the family begin to question whether his stance on chastity is helping or hindering the family dynamic. Is his approach truly for the greater good? Or is it a relic of a bygone era that no longer resonates with his children? As the episode airs, fans of Sister Wives are torn. On one hand, Kody's devotion to his children's well-being is admirable. On the other, his strict views on premarital affection spark outrage. Social media is ablaze with reactions, some supporting Kody's firm stance, while others accuse him of controlling and overbearing behavior. But the real twist comes when Kody himself addresses the backlash. In a public statement, he defends his views, but his words only seem to further alienate those who disagree. Kody: I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make sure my children grow up with strong moral values. If that means pushing them now, so be it. One day, they'll thank me. But will Kody's children thank him? Or will this be the turning point where the family begins to splinter under the weight of his unyielding expectations? As the dust settles, one question remains: Will Kody Brown's unflinching stance on premarital affection tear his family apart? Or will his children eventually come to understand his intention? Only time will tell. Kody's belief in chastity may have defined his fatherhood, but his children's choices will ultimately define their own paths. Will Kody let them choose their own destiny, or will he continue to shape it for them? What do you think about Kody's stance on premarital affection? Do you agree with his belief in chastity, or do you think it's time for him to loosen the reins? Let us know in the comments below. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. It was supposed to be a normal day, just another family gathering in the Brown household. But it turned into an explosive moment that has sparked heated debates across the internet. Kody Brown, known for his unconventional family dynamics, took it upon himself to set a rule that shocked viewers and rattled his own children. Kody's belief in chastity is clear. His children must not fool around before marriage. But this wasn't just a casual warning. In a private moment, Kody took it upon himself to impart his rigid, almost puritanical views to Aurora's boyfriend. Kissing her before marriage, Kody says, is like kissing another man's wife. In that moment, Kody's moral stance was laid bare for all to see. But was this a father trying to protect his daughter? Or was it something darker? A controlling demand masking itself as parental love? But Kody's rule isn't just about kissing. It's a part of a larger moral framework he's built around his family. From polygamy to marriage, every aspect of love and affection has been filtered through Kody's strict lens. For his children, these rules are not just expectations. They're an invisible force, one they must either abide by or fight against. For Kody, love isn't just about affection. It's about control. His moral values are rooted in a religious tradition that preaches the sanctity of chastity and marital purity. But as his children grow older, the conflict between their desires and his expectations grows more pronounced. Aurora, I get what he's saying. He wants to protect me. But it's like he doesn't see me as an adult. I want to experience love and intimacy on my own terms. Aurora's struggle is a microcosm of the larger family dynamic. Kody's love for his children is undeniable, but his controlling nature has led to moments of conflict, particularly when his values clash with his children's evolving ideas of love and autonomy. As the family watches this tension unfold, some begin to question Kody's approach. Robin, his most recent wife, is caught in the middle. She shares Kody's values, but knows the consequences of his rigidity. The other wives, especially Christine and Janelle, are starting to speak up about the pressure they see Kody placing on their children. Janelle, I understand Kody's principles, but there has to be room for freedom. He's pushing them so hard, and sometimes it's like they're suffocating. Christine, I've seen my children struggle with Kody's rules. I know he means well, but this is starting to feel like control more than love. As Kody's moral stance becomes more public, the rest of the family begins to question if his overbearing rules are doing more harm than good. In the world of polygamy and multiple wives, Kody's influence is vast, but when it comes to his children, how much control is too much? Just as Kody's influence seems to reach its peak, a twist shakes the family. During a private conversation, one of Kody's children, feeling suffocated by his views, lashes out. Aurora, who had quietly borne the weight of her father's rules, finally explodes. She confronts him about the rigid moral code, about the way he's treating her like a child. And in that moment, the battle lines are drawn. Aurora, I'm not a little girl anymore, Dad. You can't control everything I do. I want to be able to love who I want, how I want. Why can't you see that? The silence that follows her words speaks volumes. Kody, shaken, realizes that his grip is loosening, and for the first time, he begins to question his own rules. But the question remains: will Kody change his ways? Or is this the beginning of the unraveling of his family? The aftermath of this confrontation ripples through the Sister Wives fandom. Fans are torn. Some see Kody's insistence on chastity as a sign of his deep love and commitment to family values. Others, however, see it as a stifling form of control, one that threatens the emotional well-being of his children. Fan comment: Kody needs to let his kids live their lives. They're not his property. Fan comment, Facebook: I get that he's trying to protect them, but this is beyond overbearing. He's pushing them away. Kody's hardline stance on love has created an emotional rift in his family and in his fan base. Some applaud his commitment to his values, while others argue that his beliefs are outdated and harmful. But the real question is, will Kody learn from this moment, or will his family continue to fracture under the weight of his expectations? As the Sister Wives saga continues, the tension between Kody and his children remains unresolved. Will Kody find a way to balance his traditional values with his children's desire for autonomy, or will this be the turning point that changes the Brown family forever? The struggle for love and freedom in Kody's family is far from over. Will his children continue to feel controlled, or will they finally break free? The answers are still unfolding, and the future of the Brown family is anything but certain. Kody Brown's strict moral compass didn't appear overnight. His belief in chastity and traditional marriage values have deep roots, formed long before the cameras started rolling. Raised in a conservative religious environment, Kody's views on relationships were shaped by teachings that placed great importance on sexual purity before marriage. His upbringing, one marked by clear-cut rules and expectations, became the foundation for how he would raise his children. Kody: when I got married, I believed in these values because they were ingrained in me. I thought it was the best way to protect my family, to teach them right from wrong. The idea of saving oneself before marriage was sacred to me, and it became a part of how I viewed my role as a father. Aurora, Kody's daughter, has always been caught between the worlds of love and duty. Raised in the shadow of her father's beliefs, she's had to grow up faster than most children. But as she navigates the complex world of relationships, she's beginning to feel the weight of her father's control on her shoulders. Aurora: it's hard. You want to follow your heart, but you also want to honor your family. The way my dad sees the world sometimes feels like it's in a box, and I'm stuck in it. I've always respected him, but at what point do I get to make my own choices? Kody's insistence on chastity wasn't just about one conversation. It became a pattern. As his children grew older, the tensions within the family began to rise. What started as a single rule regarding premarital affection soon turned into an overarching moral code that defined every aspect of their lives. Christine: I respect Kody's values, but I think it's time he realizes the world's changed. The way he wants to control things. Sometimes it's like he forgets that our children are becoming adults, not just extensions of him. Janelle: I get that Kody wants the best for the kids, but it's hard to watch him impose these limits. It's not just about protecting them anymore. It's about controlling how they see themselves. As Kody's firm grip on his children's lives tightens, cracks begin to show. In private moments, his wives start to question how much is too much. The question on everyone's mind: is Kody truly doing what's best for his children, or is he driving them further away with his overbearing rules? Robin: Kody and I share the same values, but I can't ignore what's happening with the kids. I see the way they're struggling to balance their father's beliefs with their own growing independence. It's tough. Christine, sometimes I think we forget that they're their own people. We want them to be part of our world, but they're finding their own way. Kody has to realize that we can't control everything forever. The breaking point comes when Aurora, fed up with her father's constant interference, finally speaks out. In a raw confrontation, she challenges Kody's rules on premarital affection, saying what everyone else has been too afraid to say. For the first time, she pushes back against the emotional wall Kody has built around her. Aurora, I've lived my life by your rules, but I can't do it anymore. You don't own me, Dad. I need to make my own choices. I need to love who I want, how I want. You can't control everything in my life, no matter how much you think you're protecting me. After the confrontation, Kody is left alone with his thoughts. For the first time, he begins to question his methods. Has he pushed too hard? Did his rigid views actually push his daughter away instead of protecting her? Kody's self-reflection becomes a poignant moment of introspection as he grapples with the consequences of his actions. Kody, I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was protecting them, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I've been so caught up in my beliefs that I didn't see how much it was hurting them. The emotional fallout from this confrontation doesn't just affect Kody and Aurora. It sends shockwaves through the entire family. What was once a cohesive unit, united by shared beliefs, is now fractured. Each family member must grapple with the tension between their personal values and Kody's expectations. Janelle. Kody's way of parenting is starting to feel like a barrier. It's hard to watch him push the kids away, but I don't know how to change it. He's so sure of himself, and sometimes it's like no one else can have a say. As the family picks up the pieces, the question remains, what's next for Kody and his children? Will this be the turning point where Kody loosens his grip and allows his children to find their own way? Or will this be the moment where the family fractures irreparably? In the world of sister wives, nothing is ever as simple as it seems, and as Kody's rigid rules clash with his children's desire for freedom, the ultimate test of love and family loyalty is just beginning. Can they rebuild what was broken, or will the divide grow even deeper? What do you think about Kody's strict rules for his children? Should he loosen the reins, or is he right to protect them in this way? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the Sister Wives family. Hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future updates.